Welcome, ladies and gentlemen and other. Welcome to my new video. What is going to happen in here? I don't really know, actually, but we are trying to make some music today. I thought it was maybe could be a good idea to record some stuff for you. So this way we can see together where we are going to end with this session. Maybe we won't do really anything interesting, but I'm sure we will find out some new sounds and cool stuff to experiment with. So let's dive into it. What have we here? This is not sounding very nice for me. I don't know what's. I think it's It might be actually. What is this? Where does it come from? This is awful. Maybe we can try to add a lot of FX in here with a multipass. Usually what I like to do is just drop a lot of stuff in here, like a lot of FX chains with automations and stuff to be first of all more lively, and then to turn my samples and other stuff I put in here into new sounds that are not really not really that different, or sometimes it can. It depends. If it sounds good, it's good. So let's try some stuff and see if we can do with this, and if I'm inspired, let's say. Maybe we can try to enhance the bass. Maybe we can try to maybe we can try to just put a kick in here just to enhance the rhythm and groovy techno. This is not what we want actually. Let's make our own kick. Maybe it can be more convenient. So I like this preset from I think it's Modular V3. Yes, from Arturia. Is it from Arturia? I think it is. So basically you can choose a drum and it has this very analogic sound. Let me check. Maybe we can try to shorten it a bit in order to just make the thing a bit more polyrhythmic. This is a bit too distorted for me, actually. Maybe we can try to add what can we add on top of this? Maybe a low pass. An EQ3. Season 8 actually. This is not what I wanted. Maybe change the kick, can be better. And add some delay on top of that. Nice movement. Okay, so we got this really cool loop actually. I will just prop the sample and maybe normalize it. This way I can just take this and start. We can delete this one. Maybe trying some new FX on it. Let me think a bit. We could use an amp, maybe. It sounds awful. Let's check with thermal. You will see me, guys, are using a lot of plugins actually, because I really do love plugins, especially FX and stuff. I'm not that good in sound design. I will explain you later how I do my FXs, but usually what I tend to do is just try some stuff and see what those sounds pretty good, and then keep it. And you have to find the balance where you destroy your song enough to just make it your own and good, and in a certain way convenient for your mix. Because we are starting actually with the kick, we don't have any other elements. So what I will recommend you after we will do this kind of stuff, I will actually try to find a place where my kick seem to be okay in terms of dynamics, EQ, mixing and stuff. And then I will try to mixing just an ID, because obviously we don't have any other element to compare with, but then we will introduce some other stuff, and maybe we will try to choose the samples and the way the sound will sound in a general way based on the first element you will add, if you want really to keep this one as the main element. So for example, if you have a very deep kick, you can try to reach for very large spectrum frequency with, for example, very hi-hats, very in maybe the 17k kilohertz, but usually you will try to maybe work them around let's say a bit more low. So this way you have a lot more information in a certain area, and you don't have that much of a spectrum. Maybe it can be interesting to make the contrast, use the space you have in your entire spectrum to just deal with that. But we'll see after this. Actually, I'm a bit out of the context right now. So let's see with our thermal how the kick sound. Try to just enhance the bass. Okay, so now we have this loop. I like this because it sounds a bit more full, let's say. We have a good low end, and it does not sound that resonant. I like the way it sounds. Maybe now we can try to add a bit more low mid information, maybe mid higher, let's say mid high information for the punch. To do this, we'll use one of my sample, just a kick layer, let's say. This is not mine, but it can do the job. So actually what I like to do is usually either pitch down this one. This is not the one. Yeah, to get like the first peak at around 60, maybe 70. Here we are peaking at 1 hertz, 100 hertz, and then try to reach the very low with around maybe 30 hertz. This way it will sound more full, I guess, in the bass. Then just cut the lows in order to keep only the punch, and then we can modify it a bit with maybe a snap hip. This plugin is actually from the Kilohertz suite. You can get snap hip and I think a multipass in the same bundle. Yeah. Very nice loop. We'll use it for as the main kick, I think. Actually, let's put it in orange. Let's put here. Okay, so what can we add on top of that? We could add. Let me listen to it and maybe. It sounds Bosche-ish, but I like the way it can sound alternative. Maybe we can just try to add some room with the vintage verb. This one, yeah, Valhalla vintage verb. Actually, I like the ambient stuff, but not this one. The drum air presets. Actually, I discovered it from a Graph video. I don't know if you know about him. Such a talented guy. He's providing a lot of free stuff the same way. Okay, it sounds good. We'll just add maybe this stuff. What is actually? It's basically compressing the stuff, the whole kick into a parallel chain, and just keep the very high, and then saturate it so it adds literally some crispiness to the signal. Maybe you can try to add in. Okay. Okay, so let's try to maybe add some perks or some groovy element to it in order to keep it interesting. I think a very straight hat, actually, not a gay one. Oh, yeah. No, actually, let's try a gay one. I think it will be very straight one. Maybe a ride. A very sassy one. Very picky one. Ooh, this one. Let me check real quick. I think this one will be sassy enough. Just do the job the way I want him to do. Maybe you can try to add more stuff to it so it's even more unique. Very trippy. So maybe we can try to just move those and add some effects on top so it can be even more hypnotic. I can add some more fuel effects to it. make some very dumby, idiot kind of hook or lead or whatever, like a synth or something. What can I use for this? Is it the micro or is it the one? No, it's the one actually. One. I like the way the kick sound, but actually I'm not really fan. I think we can do it better, maybe. Let's change this for a snappy instance. Actually, I'm not very satisfied with the kick. Maybe I can try to take another one. This one is cool. Let's maybe try to modify it a bit. I like the way it sounds a bit granular, but it sounds very good. Especially this one. Like this, yeah. So this can maybe actually act as our main beat. Let's do now some Einstein. I really do like the way the kick sound. Yeah. So in order to do this, we will need some random stuff. What can we take? Actually, any kind of sample you want. I just search for texture. What you do need to know is to basically we will destroy the stuff we will import in here with a lot of effects, but if it's too in the rhythmical, let's say, this is not. Like this is cool, but this is not the type of stuff we want actually. Because it will sound too repetitive and not that much organic. So what I use to do this kind of stuff.
Excellent. Are you ready for this? Come on.
It's like it's trying to communicate with me. It's like it's trying to communicate with me. It's like it's trying to communicate with me. It's like it's trying to communicate.
Oh, it would be very cool to do something with this. I got an idea. Let's make it longer. I don't know what I'm doing, but it sounds very good actually. Maybe we can try to do a slight variation at the end. Okay, so here we are. Sounds good, but there is too much. Okay, so now what we can do is maybe try to find some stuff to get some melodic information. Maybe we can try to use what can we use? Do we have any instrument in here? Die Glockenspiel. Ja. Let me try something else, like in the plugins and instruments. Do we have any? The acid one. I'm gonna try something random. Is this for the Atmos? Keys maybe? Oh, we still have the Portal. Let me check only this. Maybe we can just open arpeggiator on top of this. Okay. It's a bit detuned. Sounds awful. This is a terrible idea. Actually, I like this loop, but I'm not sure about how I will use it. Maybe I can try to duplicate it and make another one from it. Not that happy with this art actually. Lahat. Maybe we can try to do something more abstract. No, this is too messy. This is already annoying me. Let's put something else instead. Movement. Oh, oh, oh. Not like this. What if we change the kick once again? Don't like this one either. What if we just try to make it not that ambient, but more in your face? Don't like the way it sounds. be nice actually. What is the visuals? Okay, so now it's time to do the affected. So to make things easier, I made myself a rack that I use a lot of time. It's not a fix actually, it's called Atmo. What is it? It's actually a group of tracks with usually you get like long loops. Sorry, anything you want. What can I put in here? Maybe I can just try to use the ancient songs I've already made. Where are the samples? I don't have this. Oh, maybe we can try to use this. This one is cool. This one is very, very cool. Very, very cool, very cool, very cool. Okay. Now it's time. Nice. Maybe we can try to just DS beat this loop. So the FXs. Let me check if I just find some stuff that I have. Ableton. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I have some noise in here. cool noise stuff. Are they noise thing? Samples recorded. I don't have any, so maybe it's in my music. Yeah, yes, I do. Okay, so let's use this one, for example, in here. Then this one in here. Then this one in here. And then for the last ones, maybe we can try to just grab some noise stuff from here. If you have the opportunity. Let's use random stuff like this. Okay, make sure all of them are actually warped in a loop mode. Make sure they are actually warped, otherwise you won't be able to do the loop. That's yeah, okay. So now I just have to extend this stuff. And that's it. Make loops. Again, loop. Again, loop. And then just make sure the entire thing is a bit EQ'd, because usually it's not that much a problem, but we don't need the lows from the songs we actually putting in here. What is this insanity? Let's EQ the bass of this one. Maybe we can try to mangle a bit this one. So this way it does a bit of random stuff. You can basically just drop any LFO, this parameter, any LFO to the other one too, and putting it in random. You can just, yeah, this one is good. So basically what I will do is map the other one to this one and just change a bit the rate, so it's playing actually with the XY graph and the two FXs. So you got something pretty unpredictable. But I like the fact that yeah. So actually we have the main ID of the track, or let's say the main template. What we want to do now is just prepare the stuff so I can play a bit live and record the arrangements, and then it's done. So maybe it will need some minor fixes after that, but actually I don't know if it's the fact that my headphone is not actually plugged on my sound card, because there is a corrective IQ on it, but actually the thing seemed very sibilant for me, especially in the eyes. But who cares? I like this one too. I don't really like the way it sounds, actually. I'm gonna make it like more in the face. like the mix actually. Sounds too loopy. What can we do about this? Okay, not really convinced. Let's just Now we can do something. Okay, so you actually just have a quick overview of what can happen when I produce. Usually I start with an ID and then I'm distracted and then I'm trying some other stuff, and finally I end up with some cool stuff like this. More wet, more clean, I guess, and more interesting. So now that I have this one, I can just delete this one, so my CPU can breathe a bit. Maybe you can just modify the width of this one. So now we can choose some perks. Usually I like to use perk loops because at the beginning I was doing them myself, but actually I got a lot that can be interesting to use. Let's search for unusual ones, let's say. Let's just remove the first one with a kickstart. This way we don't have the both drums overlapping. Maybe I can just add a bit of noise. really like the fact that this is panned and it's not really in front of the kick. It would have been a good idea to just try to make it a bit unique, but actually I don't think this is the way it can be the most interesting. Maybe I can just use this device. Okay, let's check some different ones. Hat loop. Is this the one we used previously? Maybe. Don't really know. We'll see. Maybe we can just try to add more effects so it's a bit more wet. Like the way it sounds. Oh. Okay, now we will have the effect stuff coming in here, and then we'll be okay because now it's enough. Okay, let me check this and add this to this. Search the sample. Okay. show me the way. Okay. Let's play a bit with this. Okay. Again, let's play a bit with this. Okay, so now we have the thing. It's actually 6 minutes long, 6 minutes and a half. Now I can just move around stuff if I want to change things, or maybe I don't know, modify a bit the mix, but basically here's the sound and the idea. Actually, we can try to compress a bit the low end. And just now clip the very peaks. Now what I will do is maybe just drag an actual sample of a song that I've already mastered. Then just double it and remove the low frequency. So this way I can have more texture and more stuff in here. Let me think a bit. I'm gonna use Ozone for this one. think that's it. Actually, not really convinced, but to be honest, it's one pretty good song, I think. I'm not sure if I will post it or not, but it was a pretty good session, actually. Let me know, guys, if you want me to show you some stuff in particular, or if you want the file of the song. Maybe you want the stems and stuff like that. Let me know and I will send it to you. That's it. See you soon.